I have not watched this movie for almost probably 4 to 5 years. I have not watched Iron Man 2 in a very long time. And that's the honest truth. I have not watched a movie in so long. And I always, like, every time I see people do videos like Marvel rankings, they always say this movie is one of the worst ones. And honestly, I don't really remember because I don't remember it watched a long time ago. So I watched it this morning and I took a whole day to just think about it. I was like, what was wrong with this movie? And I think I have it right. I think I honestly know what is wrong with this movie. But let's start off. Continuing on the Marvel Cinematic Universe reviews leading up to Avengers Endgame. Let's start off with this movie. Oh man. Iron Man 2. This film was directed by Jon Favreau and released of May of 2010. Pretty much, first one came in 2008, then the Hulk came out in 2008. 2009, no Marvel movie. That's probably the year they were like, you know what, we're about to do Captain America, Thor, we gotta cast these people, we gotta start the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because the Hulk was good, Iron Man was good, we got something starting here, so let's go ahead and get Iron Man 2 out. Hey, Jon Favreau, we need you to rush out a movie. Apparently, I looked it up. Apparently, they rushed out this movie. Jon Favreau wanted to take another year to do it. And honestly, that's just what the studio was like, hey, we need Iron Man 2 by next year. Freaking make it by 2009. And they had a different writer, which this writer was Justin Thorax, whatever. He actually wrote this movie. The first movie was written by like 4 people. And so this movie came out, and basically, spoilers, the movie came out 9 years ago. So if you haven't seen it, obviously, don't watch this review. But basically, it's basically Tony Stark, his Iron Man suit. The government's like, we want the suit, give us the suit. And he's a dick. Tony Stark is a dickhead in this movie. And he's like, I'm not giving you my suit. It's my suit. I'm going to protect the universe. And Samuel Jackson keeps calling him and is like, hey, we really want you to become an Avenger. And he's like, no thank you. I'm not doing it. No. Even though in The Incredible Hulk, very end credit scene, apparently he wanted to do it. Now he doesn't. He has nothing to do with it, but the whole movie, Samuel Jackson keeps coming up to him and says, we need you, we need you, we need you. And that's how the Marvel Universe, like, is this is why the movie feels like a setup, because Samuel Jackson, there is no real reason he should be in this movie. Yes, he was in the first end credit scene ever in the first Iron Man, but this whole movie, all he is doing is saying, sign the contract, become an Avenger, become my leader of the Avengers, do it. We need you, you're a great guy, and you're dying, because the heart thing that keeps Iron Man alive, Tony Stark, is starting to fade off. He's dieting, so by the end of this movie, he does have like the triangle one, which is never seen again in the Avengers movies, I'm pretty sure, but he has, by the end of this movie, he has a triangle one, which is kind of cool, but nothing like major, even though we do get to see Cap's shield, which is, this movie has so many Easter eggs, and so much about Avengers, and about Avengers overall, that this is why the movie, no one likes it. Because it feels like a setup movie to Avengers, and that's all it really is. I mean, yes, I haven't really got to the plot, because the movie really is an Avengers setup for the first one, and talking about Thor and the Captain America. It's a bunch of just setup stuff, but the main storyline is this guy, Mickey Rourke, and Sam Rockwell team up together to defeat Iron Man and get his power and get his suit, because Sam Rockwell is a government's dealer, and he's like, I want to become rich, and I need Iron Man's stuff. Get me his stuff. Teamed up with Mickey Rourke, and they attack him. And so Don Cheadle and Iron Man gotta work together. And there's a lot of shooting and stuff. But again, that stuff, it just feels so unnecessary because, again, the movie is a setup to Avengers and all that kind of stuff. And don't even get me started, I will say it right now. And after watching it, I love Scarlett Johansson. She is hot. Keyword, that's it. She is hot. And she's also a really good actress. I mean, these past 5 years, she's been in some major films. She's been a great actress in a lot of stuff. And she's also great as Black Widow. That is just a clear fact. She is awesome. Especially in the newer movies, she's awesome every single time. She's a caring character. And heck, we're about to get her own solo movie, apparently, which I'm excited for. But this movie was pure. She was pure in this movie for setup for Avengers. And because she's hot. This movie lingers on her butt. It lingers her on the skin suit, tight suits, and her bending down and wearing dresses and her boobs sticking out. Like, this movie totally puts shame to her character. This is a terrible way to bring her character in, especially because at the very end she reveals herself to be a badass and all stuff, and she has a cool fight scene, but it's filmed in a way where you can see her butt and her legs and her boobs and her hair and her lips. It's just disgusting because she's such a cool character in this movie. If you go back and watch it, they totally treat her like a sex object, and it pisses me off because that's terrible. Because she's an awesome character now. I mean, everyone likes Black Widow. She's an awesome character, And this movie totally treats her like it's nothing. Like she is a just get out of here sex object. Like that is, I hate that about this movie. I hate that. And like I said, Tony Stark in the first movie, he's a douchebag, truly, because he's all rich and famous, knows whatever, but he's a hero. Remember that scene where he saves the kids and defeats the terrorists and all kind of stuff? Awesome scene. You don't really get that in this movie. He's just a dickhead. I mean, the scene where he's drunk in his suit and he's blowing up his house pretty much and he fights Don Cheadle and to get his Iron Man suit, whatever, and it's just like, Iron Man, you're just a dick. You're just being mean. I mean, I love Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, obviously, because he's the reason to see this movie and anything, but dang it, he's just a douche. I do really like Sam Rockwell in this movie. I think he is heavily underrated. He is Sam Rockwell. He's playing Sam Rockwell, but he's just good at it. Mickey Rourke, he is not a great villain, but he's there. I like the scene where he does have like it's just him and the thing inside of him. He's got the big rope. I do like the scene where he attacks him in like the racing thing. I think that's a cool scene. All the action scenes are actually pretty cool when there are some. Yeah, the first one's not fully action, but it was an origin story, so you're getting invested with these characters. This one's a sequel, supposed to up the stakes and everything. That doesn't really happen in this movie, because you know why? It's a effing setup for Avengers. I'm telling you, Samuel Jackson has no purpose in this movie. Just to give him a new thing and tell him, hey, you need to take that thing out, get a new one. Hey, come and sign this contract by the end of the movie. He doesn't even fully sign it, but he's like, I'll think about it. It's so bothering because this movie, it came off Iron Man 1. Everyone loved Iron Man 1. And this movie definitely felt rushed out, set up for Avengers, get these characters in there, and by the end credit scene, let's set up the next movie, which is Thor. And it's a cool end credit scene, but I mean, really, it came out of nowhere. Like, at least Iron Man 1 end credit scene, it ended with Iron Man coming home, and Samuel Jackson just sitting there. The Incredible Hulk 1, Iron Man talks to the guy and is like, hey, I want you part of the Avengers Assemble. Even though in this one, he's like, I don't even want to be in the Avengers, so it doesn't make any sense. I do truly think this movie is watchable. There's funny stuff. There's cool action scenes. The movie looks good. The CGI is really good. Still holds up pretty well in my opinion. The soundtrack's pretty cool. I mean, it's like I said in all these movies, there's not a terrible Marvel movie, but there are Marvel movies where they just aren't the best. And this one is definitely the bottom of the barrel worst ones. But again, I'm not saying that it's a terrible movie. I'm just saying it's a freaking setup movie. Iron Man 2 is definitely disappointing, so that's why it's gonna get a C+. Again, I haven't watched the movie in years. I watched it today, and I took all day to think. I was like, what did I not like about this movie? In true honesty, like everyone says, it is a setup to Avengers, and God, they really just pissed me off with Black Widow. She is a cool character, and they threw her for a sex job in this movie. But that's it. We're done with Iron Man 2. Thank God we're done with that. But we are moving on, and next week I am reviewing the first and the original Thor with Chris Hemsworth, the first Thor. I'm pretty excited to talk about this one because I do have my opinion on this movie, and it might not be popular, but it is it's my opinion. So next week, check that out for the next review for Marvel Universe. And just a quick heads up. When the Avengers Endgame gets closer to time, like I told you in the very beginning, I was reviewing all the movies in order. I'm gonna switch Iron Man 3 and the first Avengers. I'm gonna review Iron Man 3 and then I'll do Avengers because I feel like it's better to review Avengers and then Avengers Endgame. Just to me personally in editing and releases of video. It's just me. Just so letting you guys know, I will be switching those in the future. I'll remind you in the future videos, but right now, all you watching, there you go. Anyway guys, if you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, guys.